Hey Sagittarius, Satnam. My name's Elise and you're watching Satnam Spirituality. Welcome to my channel. I am an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I wanted to create a channel focusing on spiritual ascension and alignment with your higher self and working through those things to kind of come into more of a flow state and bring more peace and ease into our life. So that's my intention with these tarot readings. We're going to take a look at your current energies, some messages from your higher self, and some incoming energies, just so that you're in the know about what's going on. Right now it's eclipse season, so a lot of energy flying around. So there could be a lot of things coming and going, and especially with these switching over to Pisces and Virgo axis as opposed to the Aries Libra axis. So this is residing within your 4th and your 10th house, with your 4th house being Pisces, which is where the moon will be, and your 10th house being Virgo, which is where the sun is currently at right now. So it's just going to be a shift of energy over from those different axes. And so we're going to be feeling a little bit more of an initiation. With the lunar eclipse, it's a lot about completions. And I think that with this new energy coming in around the eclipses, we're kind of working with different areas in our chart as opposed to what we've been working with for the last couple years. So yeah, let's dive right into your reading. I've pre-shuffled all the cards. Sagittarius. So I'm just going to take a look at your current overall energies. Jump in and drop it in energy. Interesting. So this is in your career, with the sun being in your 10th house. So that's where like the light is shining in your chart right now. So it brings a focus to that area. So you have empathetic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. You have child of the cosmos, intelligence of the universe lies within you. You're not alone, isolation, physical connection, community, and I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. What's interesting here is that there's a feeling of vulnerability that's being expressed here, and it definitely is around these boundaries, and it's like maybe perhaps not wanting to connect in with the community because you kind of feel isolated even when you're with other people. But this child of the cosmos, it feels like you're kind of like feeling separate or other, and maybe you just pick up more on the energies around you, and that's why other people might be coming to you with problems and issues and things, and it's like you have your own things that you're working through at this point in time. And it's like Spirit saying, like, trust your intuition on a lot of that around like what is yours to carry and what's others, like what's your responsibility, like especially with it being on the 4th and 10th house, there's a lot of responsibility there. Like the 10th house is about how, like, your public reputation, how people see you, which is why it's really closely attached to the career. But it's how people view you, and like who you are at home. Sorry, just bring that in, and how you root into your life. So how are you bridging the gap between how you are perceived? Are those things at a juxtaposition, and it makes you feel like you're kind of like in two worlds? And I think that there's just like a harmonizing that kind of is kind of going on here with this, with Saturn being in your 4th. Yeah, let's take a look. And Jupiter and Mars being in your 7th is about relationships. So a lot of your relationship houses are being hit. Sagittarius. Flipped all the way over. Interesting. You have the Dharma of Kali and Vishvamata. I apologize if I'm butchering that. The Dharma of Kali, so your Dharma is like living with your spiritual attunement, right? And this child of the cosmos, it's like spirits whispering to you right now, and perhaps you are maybe facing a struggle around opening yourself up to spirit because you feel really vulnerable, and it's like from these situations that are occurring in your life. Sorry, I will read the back of the card. Your most abundant successes manifest when you're aligned with your integrity. You do not need to put your faith in pathways or projects that do not resonate with your deeper spiritual knowing. Everything that is happening in your life is part of how your prayers are being answered. A new order is to be established. You are being led into it. 100%. And there's this Vishvamata, which is like, there's like this tenderness to this goddess. And it says, although you may not be in circumstances that you would prefer to, or although you may be in circumstances that you prefer not to be at this time, you're actually in a position of unrealized spiritual power. You will gain benefit from what is transpiring. When the relevant learning and personal growth have been acknowledged and integrated, these circumstances will give way to a more favorable situation. So like this, I feel that, there's this, maybe that's why you're feeling disconnected. And it's like maybe there's something that's not quite in alignment in your life. And it's around being vulnerable is what I'm feeling. Let's take a look at what the Lunar card is. 44, attraction, the void, and release. Yeah. So, and then beginnings at the bottom. So this is like a pretty clear message around once you release this and step into this like space of nothingness, then that's where like the attraction of these new things in your life that you want. Because I feel like you're putting your energy into things that you want to resolve in your life, and it's like you are unable to kind of like move forward because you're focusing in on these other things that have to do with like your home and family life, and so it's like as soon as you release this and step into this void, and the new moon is coming up, the balsamic and dark moon is coming up. And the new moon that occurred on September 2nd, after this lunar eclipse, we will be returning back down to the new moon, which will be the solar eclipse. And so it's like there's this period of release between the lunar and the solar eclipse. And once there's that period of release, it's like this, you'll start attracting the things that you want into your life instead of all this other kind of stuff that's been perhaps dragging you down, or you feel like it's been making you stuck. The Smith, overthinking, taking action. And it's like the action I'm feeling is to like not take action. The King, control, reversal of fortune. The Queen, determination, sacrifice. And the Merchant, self-worth and trade. Excuse me. It's like you're balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculines. Like you're being able to decipher like when to take action, when not to take action. And just coming back to this, it's like because there's all these expectations on you, you can't really, it's once you kind of get into that modality, it's kind of hard to separate out from being the person who takes care of it all the time, because a lot of people depend on you. And I feel like there's this like balancing of like, no, like I need to rest, I need to release this, I need to kind of step back. And come into this intelligence of the universe. And then this self-worth and trade, I feel like excuse me, I feel that just stepping into this space of and creating these boundaries will really alleviate a lot of what's what's been going on. Is that's what Spirit's trying to say here, is that, you know, stepping into this void will attract the things that you want into your life, and just releasing that. Yeah, releasing that. Releasing those expectations you've put on yourself, and maybe nobody else has even put them on you. That could be another message. Okay, let's see what your high self wants to say. Kind of really, you know, you see the energy of those cards. A lot of times the cards will like flip right out, but it was like maybe there's a feeling of like being closed off from Spirit. You have the Six of Cups and the Four of Swords, and it's so there's this feeling of wanting to return back to the way that maybe things were, or if that's not for you, it's just like there's this desire for peace and ease, and it's just been battle after battle after battle after battle with the Five of Swords here, because you go from the Four of Swords to the Five of Swords, and then you go to the Six of Swords here, and it's like you're moving on from this. You're using your mental body to, you know, change how these things are in your life. You know, there are a lot of sword energy here, especially like right above it is that King and Queen. So I'm just seeing all these swords. And so there's this moving on. It's like you're out of this peace and rest period, but just like ready to, like, a lot of things have been really disappointing whenever you try to build this like stability in your life. And then you have the Two of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. And so with that energy, it's like the decision, it's your decision to wait. It's your decision to know when things are in the right space in your life in order to be able to move forward. Or this could have been around not really seeing what was holding you back. Or maybe not wanting to face it, because she, like, the Two of Swords usually has the blindfold on her. Yeah. But this 4, 5, 6, it's just, I feel like you're moving forward from this, and Spirit's just wanting to connect in with you to help you through this, is the big message that I'm getting as well. Just letting you know that you're going through a transition phase, and it's your decision, a conscious decision that you're going to make in order to be able to move past these expectations. But there is this new beginnings here starting, and then this jump in energy of say yes to change. And then there's the Smith taking action. So, I mean, you are a fire sign, so I expect you to be able to take action. I didn't ask for any cards yet here, but Princess of Pentacles, yeah, learning something new. Okay, so this is going to be incoming energies. Yeah. I saw a flipper in here. See what I mean with the cards kind of being all jumbled? There we are. The Foolish Man at the bottom of the deck. So a new start, a fresh start. Starting with these completions, like I'm a firm believer that we, like, new beginnings of things start with endings of old things. Things that we're ready to move on to, and it kind of like adds to that perspective of like why you're making the change. We have the Two of Wands and Judgment here. It's like, yeah, there's definitely this rebirth energy that's happening, and it's just so clear across your reading. So the Two of Wands is, the Lord of Dominion. And so, and the Last Judgment is the spirit of primal fire. And again, just fire sign. So there's this like inspiration to be able to like move forward and in a way that like a student of life. It's like when I release these expectations, what do I lean on in the future? Like, what do I depend on? And there's this like realization around, what you have dominion over, what you can kind of keep close to your chest. We have the King of Swords, which was the flipper, and the Seven of Pentacles. Again, just coming back to this decision, this is you making that decision clearly, concisely to move on. It's the Lord of Success Unfulfilled. So there's this feeling of like failure that's attached to it, but it's like all Spirit needs for you to do is to move into a different space of energy. The Seven of Cups, yeah, feeling like it's a little foggy, feeling like you don't know the clear way, and maybe the path hasn't been like laid out very clearly, but it's just like what needs to change in your life. So making those small changes will help step you into guidance onto the other things will start popping up in your life when you start removing some other things. You have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, it really is about just like really ending the struggle in life, and sometimes it's self-imposed and sometimes it's not. You know Sometimes we just have to be in situations, and that's okay. We don't have to solve all the problems all at once. And then we have the Three of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So it's just like putting down these burdens, making the decision to move on, like we talked about here. It might be like foggy, and then with the Three of Cups, like once this is laid down to rest, and there's just like, kind of falling into trust here, becoming a student of life again. There's just like, there's this abundance that comes in. And there's, because you have the Three of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. And the Three of Cups is the Lord of Abundance, and the Nine of Pentacles is material gain. So it's just, things start landing very concretely in the 3D out of the 5D. And you just start seeing those small changes come in, even just if it's how you operate on a day-to-day, or what your desires are, where you're focusing your energy. Okay, I'm just going to pull one of these Forest Friends cards because I think that they're so cute. All right. So at the bottom, it's Mouse, gratitude. Instead of dwelling on negatives, journal about all that you're thankful for in your life. That's really good advice for anyone at any point in time. You have the Sage Frog, balance. Your life needs balance. Sometimes you've caught enough flies and it's time to kick back. Yeah. Coming back to that like restfulness here. Yeah. Just laying down the sword and just coming into that place of peace, embodying that peace. Dancing with Hares, energy. When you flow with energy, you inspire others to dance too. So maybe you coming back to the original thought around other people, when you start showing up in that energy, oftentimes it allows other people like kind of like permission to do it as well, like leading by example, like this is how we can be respectful of each other and still have a good relationship together. You have White Hare, which is awareness. Are you attuned to your environment? How can you be more aware of the world around you? And maybe that's just so that you know where you want to put your energy or where you don't. It doesn't have to necessarily be tied to people. You have White Dog, inner peace. Find your peace in chaos. Always remember that peace comes from within. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful message to end with. And definitely. Okay, so that's your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Sat Nam.